ha sansuna innocent ewa happy and I say ni pa minister pa mo say 7 days omonfa region so na region 7 days abase say yeah the reporter come up minister tie twen dey be say Ghana penny issue white paper najo ti you heard the white paper no. So white paper was sent there. Oh, communist out here chain. And other than chain, I quit by election beba so. Presidential jet no home commoner sans review. And some aka. Oje Akwaba.
Yeah.
Lucius Akwaba. Innocent Akwaba. And then you can see ever started 10, but you started before 10.
Yes.
Oje, Malaysia to say?
Yeah, Malaysia boko. Malaysia mama kai say ase ye dan tabudemo say da apatemo say den. I remember say ye no win the independence the same year. But I say ye dey no win ni muchi omo dey. That is ye dey na March no mo dey na August. Nti busumi ye wo mu ya almost celebrate omo independence anniversary. But okay, Malaysia then, Malaysia now they compare Ghana then, Ghana now. We are far, far, far behind. I said the tempata demo. Now, I did back when me realizing and say, we say Malaysia, the only way I will me the air by air. That is the only means I bet me the
Can be any baby abium.
But always it's there bet me afar. Akwan so they are called Thailand, between Akwan so and I train they are called Singapore and other places. Ube Romo airport on more. The only thing you see, me, abe no mo dua wo ho no mo sa bebre. So one way you will not see the beauty of Malaysia. Say Uremu, but Uremu we are now say yes. This country actually means business, and a hon mo mesu ene bebre. Amama who say. You need for your Chrome Hanum say. We only have political parties or more personal agenda. But you need for or Mwakasa or more minor at heart. Yes, some way, somehow, I agree with their system because more 9 kings. I'm working for Makumakun and Kono and more 13 states. To say, be I had 16 regions. More 13 regions. But I'm more 9 kings. Jomu rotate omo. Every 5 years be a captain. Una ye ufri Ashanti region kingdom. Una be president. Na yakwa koto aba de prime minister. Into only prime minister no na 5 years no so unu hu kwan so be campaign because ye ntoma. Edru innocent so. Innocent didn't 5 years ni we na edru Lucius so. If Lucius na ba me so. Until rotate start till the time say and for so they have that development agenda at hand. And Obasoswa, you are being supervised by the king or any political heads and almost also the national development plan, which I saw say it was a good thing and much more develop here do this level. Me at a point 5:30 me today na bo 5:30 Saturday na bo afina na ade san wo ha
ho na asem no wo no
me today bi hwe na me eje krasi na makọ Malaysia na me ko bi window na ko hwe ya ka bi na nam kwan su o pra kwan so
o he dey
ka na pra kwan so
o ni mere onya ho hwe
ka na pra kwan so and I was like omo be ye resurface na some what no musu it's their normal routine every day be some practice because cars are fast so that's why if they some maintain their kwan no I was shocked to my bones say the entire place me sanso koye na in fact omo die chin pa within that 1 week omo die chin pa e kwa ye koni na no captain who not even a single pothole or any of their roads. At a point, now me say baby me who be a foot or something like that. So me beside the pan or the and say na the more kwan na no so baby a kwan ne nye no e wo remote areas na no kra no as he speaks no there are a lot of machines wo hono ma eyo mo kwan dey amom na me so what is their source of fund e kwan be no mfa so yo mo kwan no so private businesses private businessman obey akwan ni we are making sure so be no up to standard international standard now they told boot the siso now waje usika time no so no hand over the amaban no and that is what they have been doing so told boot ho no mo common and people slot in and out no mo dey aje musika no mo come baby and that is why how come you don't have a single pothole until every single day you make sure say or maintain akwan no or prasro or make sure so be water so baby ho no mo afi na etwitwi so say dey ho dey didi rather go for that was a catchy but you know I see say we have a lot to do. One common thing common in all countries, especially in Africa, Ghana, tourism sector. Captain, so we're public knowledge, we'll be in him. Oko Malaysia is a population at 34 million. As at last year, 2024, and Kofu visited Malaysia 37.9 million. The entire country, our population is 34 million. As at last year, and Kofu visited Malaysia 37.9 million. So they made a revenue of $22.7 billion US dollars from tourism.
So fast the world's biggest.
Oh yes, of course.
Unko jari Zoom.
Omuko jari Zoom. Eko fa cable car. And 1990, yeah. In subsequent days, maybe I may show some of the pictures. Now, I did back where me real who can see pa to say Ghana Hanaka baby to so boise. Abandoned pits now, my galamsey, and I saw my mining, Omoja or Honomono. Kwabna so monche man say. Into ombe turning, ombe converting into something else. A Honomono mutimi, and they are converting the world's largest pool. Koko Jarim, Etieska, Koko Jarim. Ubisa Honomo abandoned sites. Yefa Honomo Yeshe. Into Honomo Kwa, baby Honomo, the lift never call, baby Honomo, Kwa, full staircase, baby Honomo, you know, Mujas or more Ochum, the first, sir, as treadmills and never the minimum the brofudi.
No, Musa.
So, and on a transporting in and out at the echo, at the back. And you could see, say, indeed, nipa krono oto ho no mo no e make sure say baby almost say ho no mo dey mining ni na no wa convert ho no mo dey aya de papa nti ura ho no mo zoo ho no mo ura ho no mo a your recreational center ho ura ho no mo your supermarket ho ura ho no mo a your pool a the biggest of all e wo ho no mo your ura ho no mo your suspension bridge e wo ho no mo ahwe nkutam ura ho no mo a your saa de na you know, there are a lot of things for Honoma. It will keep your company for more than a day. So person Honoma. There are a lot of things for Honomo. And there no any triska near Hako. Yeah, the end of Hanomusi na chairman is your Dani prayer camp. And the Bompire Gusu. There's a cable car, which I will talk about it later, but my mental work akra. Ukofu cable car now is 6,000 feet above sea level. Now what for car no? Now humanko na soup na the wo ko e de wo ba e de wo ko baby esaso edi agro e wo honomo. E no duru honomo a you will see the fun aspect of it. And that is what Malaysia for are taking advantage of moye. Abeno moye no, of course they are the world leading producer of palm oil. So the question is, how did we get here? Yeah, but I said yet to me. Yeah, fire the financial. Brand my more and I see any leaders, and I can default me aboa, and may yet me achieve a certain height. Because, since I come from my training hall, or when you just get the CC at Dayake, 20 hours in a lot of things. So, how come? I my independence the same year I acquired job, yet the job or more developing way 1,000 times ahead of us. So, the question is, I dream and the way mutrim, I want to develop your own mind. And I dream and the way you dream, we are still marking time near Bosia and Baby you crew.
That's it. But Memfa innocent in Chassis. Oh,
Captain.
Issues never boss no the opposite of the chassis enko.
Yeah, I think so. I'm what's here for. Now me my boga kwaba.
Eh,
the other buy the we are my own. I want to be come Malaysia man fans appointment and
I bet I'm the buy I bet.
We are come Captain, my man started from baby a JB you know. I think obisa question be about how don't forget, Kwame Nkrumah at the time, even supported Malaysia.
Yeah.
In their quest for independence, and after that, there was this mutual cooperation between Malaysia and Ghana. South Korea can be, Cuba can be, Vietnam can be, and these countries, and what national was say the kind of economic pedestal or more zoomy or more de you begin to ask yourself one question: say, and then a message from. Yeah, am I to be compete with this country? Because now, South Korea, one of the biggest companies I was so Ravel, Apple, your friend is saying Samsung. Samsung is from Seoul, South Korea, and several other way. Ultimately, said never be more Bruno, and yet, idea, bet me I can't grow all because of Nemo Mudisi or Moniso and several other countries. Or mind be had starting very poor. People never thought that those countries could get to where they are. Yes. For instance, Germany, after the Second World War, was disintegrated, shared among your friends the global powers at the time. Now America could have your friends saying Russia, Ukraine, Asia, Eastern part, and France, and some other. They shared the country, so virtually there was no Germany. But these people decided to build the country by Berlin Wall, no break here, after that time, there. Look at where Germany has become industrialization. And we are saying, lady, some of the banks and I am planning for struggle to put money together to go and buy those kind of do come from that particular place. So, besides, what is the magic thread of modern year? Because of my vision, our more planning way ahead. This is where we want to go in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years. So, when you have that developmental agenda, and you back it with intellectuals, people with the knowledge and the intellectual capacity of making realize and on your leadership anywhere. But you come back to Africa, you realize that is a sharp detour from this conventional line for use for development anywhere. Your politics, it's about partisan politics. Partisan politics, so as whether the person has the capacity, the wit, the intellect to help us execute a particular agenda or not, those things are your priority. It is about let me sort me for or also the man on so time let me also make the good use of the time and the problem is that there is no accountability. Locked in our system to the extent say, mess it up. There are some consequences we all have because I am so scared, I'm scared from doing some of these things. Because some other countries elsewhere, South Korea, we had a situation a certain president was thrown into prison. The Samsung company can say apparent owner the president in the way. The son was thrown into jail. These are high-profile individuals. They know that there are consequences. Who are pretty now will go offline. There will be consequences for you. Yati krom hai. Yatiana National Service. Crank it to our more musica 700 Ghana and 82 a month. Kwabrani to me for a second Kusi what. And no kwaje bosia di dinsemunu and as for kroma say. Ya the back and forth. But see na kwakwesi say. There be Attorney General by na ya say. Ghana don't even know where that particular issue has gotten to. I do issue, we just back and forth. To me free. You see, I think that the system should be. I understand. You see, the wheels of justice are grinding slowly. It's governance. Governance, the major part of it is sustaining public trust and confidence. Anything now when you sustain that trust and confidence, now you are done. So some of these things, we're here to sustain public trust because Ghana, I could do baby, Kwabranene, Unkrofosho, Majus on Babo minor form. And your monster bomb, my sick and real money sick. And said they were not even stealing in the dark. In the open, we all saw the evidence, everything is quite clear. So I think that we must begin to institute this conventional red lines. Every many people who said Ghana and I want to see the 2 million months it's a privilege. And that means that we would answer. And I say, school are quite so special. A privilege that the amount and the way our Fabua and the infant of mine. If we begin to see leadership and governance in this particular light, I think that a bit to me, I'm focus on development, long-term development, not on your friends saying this terminal basis are 4 years. So policies and plans in terminate at 4 years. The next person will be as to whether he will continue or not. No? So, and line it with the developmental agenda on the planner. They will cut it. I know the day there is nothing I am forced to be say young follows and their man. The last time I catch you, if you go to a place like America, they have your friend is saying the machineries and the engines are running American economy. No politicians, you don't have much influence over it. And to be American president, the side that what much influence has to do with foreign policy, where you have to streamline your relationship with others. But when it comes to my economy, you grow now, development, productivity, production, they are certain that a year, Juma. President, but a year, Juma, the economy is growing near my. Yes, there are certain touches in as for a bit media. Enti ebasa na tembia no the omine betimi plan in the next 20 years they know say amine 4 years wo ko obi beba but anam say your long term planner insise ne niam da ho a ye koye dem ti no say aban sesan kra it doesn't affect the machineries that run the government of the day. That's right. But we don't have same here.
Oh,
your plan is here the Ghana your first developmental plan there but me nya sure say obi kra kwa header.
Away.
Professor Mills Pence yesterday at NDA
development.
That's a PV of being for time. So Rollins that say
yes.
Or say NDPC, National Development Planning Commission.
Oh,
that's a castle bunny. Meanwhile, Thompson Mona Nash so and a Kufoba appointed PV or being and a Professor Mills. We have finished the quarter and Professor Nimoy Thompson or no Professor Mills in the call and the Akabi sit there.
No, because Nipa no bar or sharing the long-term goals a bit me aligning or political priority because I know the day every politician want to cash out the political capital out of anything. So I do things that within 4 years to make me cash it. Makwa man for catch on say me cash me we am my yamamo and that is it. So I don't know as to whether in the next 10 years or mine be kon anim and say kon na mfa no we are kwatena fie. Contract na se for ye saying nyina short term dividend and ye seki entina kwabra ne betimi afa Ghana oil dam as captain bajitu na ma me 5% or mine 5% na ma for suma say budget 5% to me. Me coffee I don't care what happens to the country. And no na e de na mu e de ababeduru hoy. So I think that you see and I'm happy say usi kroma young people are becoming largely enlightened. No be a politics. This is an opportunity for us to reset. Now you're making sure say a minor long-term plan away this so these are your friends saying your long-term agenda you per se you execute in the next way. See it mean trust me. And near be because Malaysia JB can Nyankopon free sura mechechiro minor more. A nipa da sanina tena say they were very pragmatic, they were very disciplined, and they started to say put two things in place. And now Saudi Arabia, it will surprise you the way MBS is changing the whole Saudi Arabia. Those religious near conflicted with the modern development. We're packaging, just in China for your religion. All right. But he sees that there is a world that is coming up. 1 to 2 near Maya and maybe Bedruba and then Saudi Arabia has opened its doors up and the development as for air cord. It will surprise anybody. Now these countries, the oil and quantum. If Oko Arab country, Qatar and as well, or more resources near oil.
Someone said, why is it that Saudi Arabia, a Islamic nation, but the biggest civil engineering firm is owned by a Christian?
Captain, these people oil more. Fortunately for us, we have everything.
Dubai, how many Muslims? Okay.
They have.
I don't know the mosque. After Jesus.
Captain.
So I don't know Dubai mosque is you know. They've named the thing the Mosque of Jesus, the Son of Mary. Why? I don't know. Most also another. I saw Diane. Yes, you are. And also Muhammad did that. Also by Christopher Kum. But say Fred Anka Williams. Ajinasare, Pentecost chairman, Assemblies of God, as often paid for, so I'm Central Mosque in Combompa, so Mekwa.
Because and then we have the development, you can't be rigid, you can't close up and when.
We are just joking.
You need to be very flexible, open, and accommodate everything. Because Sana we are saying I Sana here. And to be apart from oil, you will have all other resources, including the most valuable, which is human resources. But I'm saying, Captain, you need natural resources, yet man for the core. And the human resource is the most valuable, and then go to the airport. All the young people are exiting the shores of this country. Everybody is going, and the state is making preparation to ship most of them out. So we say, what is the future? They better what they build it on mine. You need plan because on my plan, you will not sit aloof and watch young people and we have productive force and literature of mind to exit in the name of seeking greener pasture. So why can't you slot in incentives? A bit me, I'm for Atanase. Because most of the nurses are more it's because of salary.
And even with that, yes, some more enjoy luxury.
Oh, why?
More bread. Oh, more bread fit up pants and what me answer.
Now, Europe, country back when I saw certain a year we are see UK. Because living conditions is so heavy to the sense that if only they will tell you the truth. What I say? And then you make money, you suffer for it.
Even America is suffering.
And some incentives now. Laura,
you can't have success at your baby. I won't say Bruno, you could have no tomatoes, good not cheap. Tomatoes!
I don't go away. Say, you could need more be a chance to go.
So, Saturday mentality, a brutal, by nay, Uzumi in our head some of the things that happen or her. Clearly, I trust yeah, near me, yeah. There are a lot of people who be willing. Now, I listen to a young man in the UK or say, so I'm with the plane, be see horses here, Nipan Tremumra, do not back. Don't cow because of fear abusian for best because they are not there. These are some of the things that these are the harsh reality. So it means that say people will not travel. You understand? Now there's a papa who abusian for now you can see them on weekly family as for normal. It's the best. So I think there's an opportunity for us. Now greediness I take you over center stage. You more be to me and now Genesis has our tesoro on Kenipa who be and they begin to do weird things and as for arrogance. I say, so that is the African mentality of power. I think minimum concept about power, and I don't know how it is. And the very moment to me common sense of free so lose power and send a back. And they do things that sometimes I think that this is time for us. As a minor. You better get your priorities right. Now you making sure say you catch it because you know na South Korea, you know na Vietnam and not Vietnam. Country coming from the ashes of war and then go there and see the way Omo pace it up. And then some of the Asian giants no target Omo no. We can home your friend saying Vietnam can be because most of the your friend saying furniture and so forth, but that is what they are doing. And Indonesia is tagged as the new China. Because they are growing at a double digit, double numbers.
Yeah.
What I say. So if these Asian tigers are doing and it's becoming possible, why is the African countries we are all flat nothing? Now no matter you see, I said Trump, actually USA ID I'm happy Trump cancels idea. It's a wake-up call for we the Africans. Say we need to take responsibility because he will not be in America now to Sikana man now with the Sikana modern master for finance health no now man for the expensive SUVs no na for cars akese conferences now no finance ministry but who say ya refer mu to public accounts committee ya refer mu to ya fa dey say AG for investigation hotel ya hanya ya kwade dam no etimi rise to over 3 million and over in 2014 you go and read the report. Hotel Kekewa yeah, Abanya Juma by ye reserve hotel for a month for it swallow to over 3 million and over. Now man for and obi yaro hospital Roberto Drukra Onyabindi. What kind of country is this? So I question 2 million as an avenue for me na fan sort to me hunya me fie ye. Enti obi e press over kwenti and people from other areas a man for anybody like medicine and as well and be a rush to the political space because you saw joining the political bandwagon now where so I can be able to do anything. So I think that let us hasten slowly pause as a country now and reflect where we are coming from because Ghana, which was seen as the your friend is saying the shining star of Africa and the Nkrumah independent first in the sub-Saharan and inspire other countries to gain independence, you know. And then look at us. It got to a point and then Sikampo was the worst currency in the whole of this Africa. You understand? Young people in Ghana travel to Egypt into modern day slavery. People go to UAE. They go there as slaves.
Well,
in this era, and the treatment they met out to these people. Captain you see, what no one it's not about you having everything. It's about everybody having some basic comfort. That is all life is about. Now, me then I'm see me. Who cares about dying? Is Legon? Who cares about it? I don't care because my catcher said the most poorest person in Accra, Odidi. konifie ko ese na niji age o te o sere no wa wo sika no kwa wo ni sa ni je so let us make the world a better place for obia men sam wa no na me ye omane bo ma wuye na sema na mamfo adanse na mamfo di ne ho nyina ye impact we make on others.
That's right.
Brante bia abaye we se na ye twa ye se otua ne sika the day before what I say, and these are the good things people are saying about him. Young people in NDC what my building or say for nobody talk about the car or them, nobody talk about the fear or them, nobody talk about the sika one account. Who cares about those?
The sika one account yen kan okure politicians so we omo yenu baby obusika ho se kra so sika bia na danfo bi na nim baby wo opa no be ba bo amane
so it's about the little impact you make. I don't know be can one say so who you be we are smarter and think that these are some of the things that will inspire people in leadership position to do things right.
Okay no I say politicians no ho men twa na won positions a we hu yansa say wale Bill Gates kwawu Elon Musk asimfosu Dangote omani abre mimi mbo bi adi hu ala osre
mimi na me relate better relate
wale Bill Gates
okay we friend asked me to go
kwawu Elon Musk
okay I see
you see I'm got position and any pa hunyan so I just don't know this
no serious
anyway illusions over ka presidential agent nana
ma me nka maybe kaka na ja ko any man can be there wele yimusu captain no kwasem ye say etnas na say ya ankasa ye hwe ebi ti say Malaysia ya gibi na all kan ene Singapore mo a say nka na ya ankasa no itimi eso yensa buiti na yesu because we mu ye countries a ye ne be na egeni independent say ohwe gibi na okasa Malaysia ewo ba ye emefuo bibria emedwa no bebe sesa free Ghana ha isi what I say bebe sesa emedwa no free Ghana ha enti no nka the expectation ye say wo na uboro obi emedwa no se ono de eye niema hodo a na ese nka won so utimi ye ne echensa but after 1957 na bebe sesa emedwa no ko ye no kame akoye ti say ye no ye mfa anya hwe bi what I say ofa baby to say Singapore Singapore ye ni be nyina started ya somewhere 2018 Singapore enya surplus of budget the budget abe draw ye no be di budget no ma ebi kai about 10 billion or so $10 billion kai ma be check the mass citizens from age 21 eko obia enya $300 what you say yeah draw your budget and so just as an draw supplementary budget na ansana afeno crampo no financial year no akọ enti then ye what you say what kind Bible no say where there is no dream vision or direction people live confused unproductive and defeated life enti kame akwet say ye na nkasa no ani suade hu no ni ho obia no ho ne order I say all shada adwen ye nyina ye yiedie ho kame akwet say obia adwen Onua ne selfish interest ni wiase no so no say adwen boni ba otima na otim nyansa kaketua bi nti wa abreko a odwen se wo nko a wo de no odwen no mpempi no kame akwet say ne se wo ya ebetimi a benefit ye nyina no emba otim mpo you see ayi ho ka NDPC asem unse sa man na be nyina ba develop agile no Singapore mo ni Malaysia ye bubo bedi no be wo ayi directive principles a be de ye adwuma enti anya politician no mom no ba be influence niema bebri sa wo system no mu wo ba na state directive principle no wo ho this is the way to go say ni ye ko no enti then ne wo be den wo be ye e afa ho so if it's about education if it is about agric say ye employment wo mom no wo say manifesto kra no o tra manifesto na o tro no Oba be chre manifesto a chre ebia how a obefa so a obe achieve the timeline and then where ebia obetimi aye dey I raise resources no e dey aye saa ayi offering saying policy na e da ho no but say ye no pempi no ye de no ente saa o say ye ba na enka ye de na akwa ti say manifesto na wo de win elections no NDPC ebom ne ba be converting manifesto no into a directive principle nanka ya draw plan say a long term plan, medium term and then short term plan. Na dey actually say ebia say agreka yes say yedi but say bedua na ya tu abom NDPC no krampo no ye nhyada ante benka ye nim NDPC be ye ngukrum ha meanwhile we ye ayi of friends sector ye share that establish o kind a National Development Planning Commission Act 1994 Act 479 a sure say they are the advisory body to the president. Be mom ne say be kire president ne say about ABS who are say starting free high say but NDPC won't benka. Me the last time I met benka the Ivan bra me no call a year me who say bebe can bibi wo ho no. What you say
NDPC na nkasa na aban na atesi ho Fourth Republic when this ni MP before. When I do mo plan bi aye aduma. But na NDPC ni krom ha. And Professor Christopher me you konfi akufado. And almost say omo the train be fa wiem. Wa bra na asase su train.
Mo dama train from we ni we say me koya so.
Sa advice no unya free he. Is it emanating from the NDP?
No, but have they also proposed any plan? Cry body at home no that.
Plan they
have a plan, but they will not.
Almost 50 years to come. 50 years they started Rollins time. 1994. JB Toboy. Yes, by 50 years, you know. From 1993. Bano. No, minimum utitifruma mfiendo do aka. As I say, every kwanya wo Ghana ha no. They are tired 50 years. Inti show. Omo plan say every year biano and every administration biya kura na samre na kusi 50 years no. Aban biya ba onye 10,000 kilometers. Na ye wi. Say Rollins say oye 18,000. Kufo say oye 27,000. Atames say oye 11,000 plus and so John Mahama 15,000 first one. Akufado si yenjano.
Akufado ye 10,000.
Ye 10,850 10 kilometers. Akaka ene say.
Na kwan na kwa no mo yero mba ni ya. Elsewhere mo ye kwan a you may have a life span of about 20 good years.
Of course.
A kwan a ye no Akufo pension Nelson pension as well. Dey nyina sia tutu.
Away.
Because the pan of model contract the man no. Ono ya fa na chia wise ka na half of no akaka kra bi no no so yes apete egu so.
Eye greed o. Ehwe un say somewhere 1963 Maakye say oil production of food for processing. Yen na yehu factories are OCC in Sawam Cannery, tomato factory, tamale meat processing. OCC factories
strategic places.
Yes, strategic places are. And then okona factories no do na dey. E da so e wo ho no ma. Agu. Enti say eba the agric sector. And the yenim say you started from weeding, planting, cultural practices, harvesting, processing, to marketing and as for now. When you no problem ever honum. Amango timi ba na abre na say atitiagu kwa. Oko upper west morning the northern regions na share butter etim ba na atitiagu na say kwa. What you say? Enti no ka at least say your plan. Eda honum ni obi mom ehwe say ye kwan a ye be fa so a ye betimi ado na ya nkasa ya feed ye ho na ya nya bi a export ya megidi ye say nka ene no enka the confusion of unemployment na se for no kwa no enka so beti okobunu region say ya wa hu bunu region no ensase no dodo na no imabunu no convert to cash cropping. You know why? There's a lot of post harvest losses e wo honum. Obedo tomatoes na tomatoes no beba no obi mom ne efri kumase anase akra e ba be kire obo ne obeto no. And you know say tomatoes no ne sa ne ma no ye perishable goods. Enti se nipa no ba what tomatoes no dey aba no ka kire say bo say ne me dey ma wa won ton a then no dey beye Uni ayi or friends and processing ayi bia ho a the process it. And intino say we den woton. Entino ben so baba be hu say bedo tomatoes now baba na boa open woton dia mama de. Ani asase me de bedo e bia mango ana me bedo cashew. Wahu entino like yen sheda nya ayi or friends and plan papa bia e boa hell. Unemployment air cost no do na no. Hwe ye ka say the education no e key to success. Education is the key to success. No hwe nkra na ye produce be e de be ba no. Ye the theory ni e ran nkra no. The practical based subjects na e nka e TVET e bia akra ne nko no betimi a technical vocational and I say ayi offense electrical works bi no. Ye betimi ama akra na akọ no. Still I the science any ayi offense grammar and they ha akra no sa obe wie JHS no na ya pia na chiko because this time cry a wholesale promotion akra no wie JHS ya limitation bia nim tina ya wo na chiko na wasan ko SHS after SHS no aba bet na fie ono a ontim nko university ono nso a wansua aduma na afi de life na aba be den aba be basa e de ama no enti say ye wo a strategic lay down plan bia HSA enka some kind of practical base ye wo ho so kra ba say ye nhyem kina the TVET ayi schools a wo Ghana ha nyina no ya ja no sa
no but unja ne sa because hwe baby to say baby ameko Malaysia say omo produce omo car no mo produce do chairman what they bought Ghana sikemo omo turn brand new one okọ shops na say okọ akoto is about 55,000 ringgit omo sika no who converted the bag Ghana sikemo into 250,000.
Okay. Apostle Joseph. Ne car na oye no. Oye car no krum ha.
Yeah, oye no krum ha.
So wo kọ na wo kọta. Wo de kọ DVLA won't mean and register car.
How?
Aje wo de car ne kọ customs division. Now duty.
Yeah.
How?
I met him just last week.
How? I don't know.
Duty from where?
Customs.
Yeah.
Me cancer me talk and be no we bufunti man talk.
Car now no why no Ghana ha no.
It car no the check Ghana police service na say Ghana police service
the custom.
Yeah. Me ya more clearance.
Import duty.
China when so for you back when your friend sekra. Papa you I say Harry Krishna papa yi. Okwa so koto we tuaka bibi awi ye be man safoa. Am so panijo koye duty answer.
The duty.
Can you imagine?
It is say kojo safoka so ye ni na no. Akeka dem. Because Onua ye car no krum ha. Inse say only DVLA. Aban betima one DVLA akabo. Wo car ya clear that 2025 model no. Registered number plate ni. China Chachim Plus was a wine. And one no. Woman no. What ya can. Now what to car now ko. Say kojo safocas no. Showroom na watch motor here. Egu anisa. Because we cannot talk na you see to car the free safa kotema anata krade.
Meanwhile,
faka de kwata krade anatema wo. Na ye ma duty, koye duty answer.
Meanwhile, you know monkey to away. It produces 6 different cars, types of cars, 6 different types. It's a very difficult to be who BMW. Who obi use BMW na just nipa ko no wo scapa. Obi use Benz e wo scapa. Majority of them, about 90% of them, use some cars, some produce. And a young guy, you can just walk into any of their showrooms. They will give you a payment plan. And yet, then some young guy out the back, almost to the dollar. To say Ghana scanner force this to the dollar. So look at almost weight. Now compare any idea. You know,
Captain Nano mi hu abayo bia oye me fashion ya na o kase uhia wahu we secondary school na nkra no hwe niema na be showcase ya e cho say sa kra we wie school a ohia government we Onua beba be self reliant a obeye den obeye naduma entini senka yetimi eye bibisa say oh at least se nipa no koye building construction, electrical engineering, fashion. The ewo TVET ho no na say owie a. Onu ankasa self independent a on hia say na wo teacher ni say ana oje. Nurse ni sano je say onu no be ka say wa kwakoye building construction wa agya no say o pese aban for na adwuma say o meye den. Ana say obema ne say.
The system will frustrate you crab out meaning as na ka post ko just afokasi. Na ka every government institution be at least agency be na say ministry be o ba ko pa. So na ka at least a bit me empower other one.
Me say ministries, department ni agencies.
Ba ko bia o ba ko pa.
Wo mo ka say o mbeto. Sika na Apostle Joseph de ye car no. Wo mo pese wo mo de pick up to say Nissan, Toyota. Mo duty da wo ka na mo no ba wutua no.
Now they no.
And no na say wo de tua Apostle Joseph car.
Imagine.
Until the koba ene say na duty na wo ye no. Twice the price of Joseph car ne bo no. And the ministries, department and agencies na to.
I'm on top because it doesn't make sense. Yes, be any.
Captain, I think, sir, you see, sir, Oko Europe, our home. Our policies, at the heart of it, human. Humanity, central. Now that there will be a gun and you can't German or walk racket to a binance me because Sacrano, a binance support, Nasa Yana, you receive a vagabond. That vagabond will have impact on the progress of that particular country. Now, so to me, Buana Sacrano, to me, by greater. The greatness now will impact on the development of that country. So, I'm gonna go to the extent of at the innate stage, they take control and as a charge. No, I'll raise to become a better person. Somebody will be harness the human potential. At the center of your government policy, the human being. It is about me, my family, and my friends. You live good. Na yam fans spite enti me an run a woman na me da VAT me ana yem kura asem so say nipa no da ka kese ma say inferiority complex o say ye den yo
adeba ko omumu wo ho no mo kiti
yes and the nipa no look good because me dey say that na your friends Lucius e kan ye school si e ba na say no obi be ko your friends JSS awie secondary school na only training skills ba ko kura won nsa no. Because apart from say we impacting the panel with whatever knowledge, you must also ensure that baby we are seeing go to a near. A man for monsa, or more de year juma, and or more etime travel. And your secondary school, no, even say 4 years a crown as a first year, no, or be carpentry, or be dressmaking, or be quite fast a year to the sa wedding and as for young for 1 year training the panel and son of the school now to us. And do we not say one pass a crown on side of juma? So we know one pass a crowd with me, and government can identify these individuals and support them. You see, we cannot be training a man for the Mokaya Brofone. Brofo Aya Obi Kasa Kana Wakana doesn't change anything. It doesn't add any value to you.
Kwapam secondary school, maybe show English. You say oral English.
Asama Bronino can hold you.
You're quite the speaker BSc. Kwapam secondary school dining hall.
Yeah.
Na Omabo vernacular.
Yeah. Vernacular.
Say no what take. Rapprochement. Rapprochement.
Maybe we are seeing doing. Maybe we are seeing doing. And these are
now what take it. Vexet taught me. Vexet taught me.
When are the best teacher of mine?
I mean, that's not something. That's because that's something. You could dinner on a chest of Mudia Diana Beba. Still be on the buy pa, and then they buy the piece of the body, a piece of a copa, heavy one pa. Yet one of the pan, but no more say for this too. Because I said, I'm not used to this type of food. No, this is our food. You are forced to eat. Because if you don't eat, then you're never going to be. And then if you want apart from Sapan on this too, na boys ye na ye yeah. That is what they believe in. That is what they have. And that is what you have come to meet.
So I think we can turn the corner. We can turn things around because Ranted on mutu kwan kwa amana no obi koduru na se oninsa no dwuma kwa no wanu ne ho so koye so adenti na nipa no be wie JSS na secondary school ye be wie no na yes ubetimi akoya medicine but we can ubetimi aya car
med omo ye doctors to be in the parliament
Udim Samike
yes Udim Samike yes
ne wa Farabai
yeah
call London ukuta GIG certificate.
Sure.
Ukuta
GIG.
Degree in communications. Master's degree in communications.
I don't know.
Then in the journalism. Into Okopejuma. I'm say BBC for BWB or we do typical Ghanaian or time the briefcase they see her. Where there was a Ubutuni saying when they decline. Form 4 GC O level, GC A level, and no Kaiko. Oh yeah, bro, say we're not interested in this. That's the microphone. We're not interested in this. That's the microphone. Prove to us you're a broadcaster.
Exactly. Those paper documentation. Until over the years, you focus on those things. And that's not my catchers and there. Or be bad TVs no a doctor. Just a coffee for certificate. We didn't want to answer and say I just a doctor. But you see, I believe in intellect. Yeah. What I work as and convince people say I am an intellectual. You don't even know. You don't even have to tell people say you are educated. Because the very moment you open your mouth, and some now can be do one dance here. You don't need a paper. I need do one dance here. And these are some of the things I say. They making sure say a lot goes into our education. And then as a form, by the education you say no, and at the moral line no. There be a count of some say impacting human to become better. And now what church and also that magic name comes that kind of thing.
Yanka presidential jet. No, what they are sorry about
Chairman presidential jet. No, Ethiopia, omo free farm. Omo part of Africa.
I'm part of Africa.
Ethiopia. Omo part of Africa.
I'm part of Africa.
Kenya for so.
Part of Africa.
Oh, so omo Africans.
You're Africans.
Ethiopia were 178, if not more, 78. Airlines.
Almost 78.
170, yes. All over the world. All over the world. Kenya for also war, if not more or less. And also call all over the world. Yeah, dear no. Yeah, Bakupa, you say. Na kaya de be operate Ghana Airways or Ghana Airlines.
Ghana International Airlines, no.
Aye. And you the Kusi baby says a holiday in Osayin for near the do we hold on the D.
And the Ghana Airways,
Ghana Airways,
Ghana International Airlines are 7 and confirm.
You see,
Captain, you see this politics of presidential jets. Sometimes, if you listen to some of the arguments, then you understand why we are still stuck in the past. Because the mindset, and development oriented. Mindset, any foresight be into the future. We are still dealing with a crop of people who are still stuck in the past. They are struggling to identify themselves with where we are. And I think that is the reason why this whole thing. Now, say, Utia, a man for CEO, young quarter presidential jet, yen say, and Pabrane, so CEO, and young man, I criticize the Kufuado say, not all high jets, young corner, young copana chow. Because and the reality is Ghana jet, I say. So when you live in a country with people with such backward mindset, and then you begin to ask yourselves, "Oh, mind your bed, because all that they are seeking to do presently, they are seeking to justify why it was necessary. Say Akufo-Addo a high private jet at a very expensive way cost at the time, because at the time, nobody was against the fact that President Akufo-Addo a high jet. If the presidential jet at the time, our problem. You didn't have a problem with that.
That's right.
The issue has to do with opting for a luxurious and the most expensive one.
Yeah.
At the time, Ghana's economy was sinking. So it is totally outrageous for any person to seek to suggest, say, because and the far corner say at the conference, in President Mahama Kokheim, you have all commercial and NDC for Ghana for those of us who were criticized to come and apologize to Akufo-Addo just to justify. I think that is absolute nonsense, because you see, at the time President Akufo-Addo in this jet not on them even people close to the government explanation no more the I enter the defense minister Beka say or say president so obedware you said okay say funny comments again at the time now the average and the ordinary Ghanaian, go to our lowest in terms of the economy. At the time, now inflation and 52, 54. At the time, now CD was priced the most worst performing currency in the world. At the time, now Moody's, Fitch, S&P, now for downgrading Ghana, commercial way into a junk status. We are no longer recognized by anybody. At the time, now your president sent the envoy to China, France, and other people to go and beg them to forgive our debt. At the time, no, na Ghana for mudo musika bo aban bosia eyesa DDP no, emmerwa for yeso mun take haircut. These are the economic realities and they prevailing at the time. So as Ghanaians, you know, we wanted our president to live that reality by making sure that Niamana or you know will reflect the prevailing economic circumstances at the time. But the gentleman decided to go for the most luxurious and the most expensive jet at the time. It got to a point that the plane was parked on our tarmac and we were paying for it at the time. These are the realities. Mahama, but things have started picking up. Far corner, say no. Yes, a far corner, say, and it doesn't mean that it have been taken for repairs. So the issue is a technical report to balance almost a far corner and decide the SCI and who should be we can have that conversation and buy a new jet. And I'm sure no, nobody will kick against that, you understand? But these people are rather bringing that argument up just to spite some of us because you criticize them. You know, they young jet. Now, among us, or more criticize them to come and apologize to anybody. The fact of the matter is jet enters a car. Now, you have even year of manufacture as a form. It doesn't even come in because jets, and as I say, you can reconstitute the jet and make it new. And that is what they've been doing. So when it comes to jet, the date of manufacture, no, is relevant as compared to cars. And because Trump, Trump plane or Dema or Koba, one of the most luxurious planes. It was manufactured in 1991. And a Mexican company bought it first. Or use it as a commercial airline. Or maybe another company called Toy, use it as a private. Trump is the third buyer. Or reconfigure, no, repurpose, one of the most luxurious planes. So, plane now, I call far corner, yeah, private as a science engineer for us. I reconstitute the whole thing. So, it's not always about going to buy a new jet and then as for we can reconstitute, repurpose, and redesign this whole plane and make it new if we think that particular thing is not good. So, this whole argument of people should go and apologize to Akufo-Addo, I think that is absolute nonsense. People should give us a break. The fact is you cannot do anything today retroactively to justify that nonsense and those outrageous spending at the time. No, we were privy to the economic circumstances at the time, and we wanted our president to live that reality by making sure that the Ghana for a our normal catchers here and tighten your belt. You know, they will do the same thing. And the president, you know, has decided as a far corner my uncle behind me President Mahama Kasa behind jet and I won't fault him. I will only fault him when expensive and luxurious. That is the problem. So it wasn't about president because the presidential jet ain't available. You only go for commercial or you hire.
Yeah.
So hiring wasn't the issue. It was opting for those luxurious and the most expensive. And these people haven't realized that they should apologize to Ghanaians at this time for doing those things, and that they rather flipping it on Ghanaians. Say we should rather apologize to them to justify that nonsense. No, we are not. Nobody is going to apologize to anybody because at the time the president know him that you go through the Ghana forever know him, but he decided to say on TOBia because to me when he felt say and the anti croma and a kwa na ya fa VAT ya fuela ye na ya kumbia to man ya ko croma say somebody na Ghana for ankan fa ho. He never listened to anybody. It got to a time when years and instructor him for some sorry because he thought that the power was going to be forever. So these are some of the things that yeah man buying the co-opposition. So I think they need to set up, look at these harsh realities and accept them. So the gentleman as a force of who say yeah na backlash ya goodness. So because as an MP you're supposed to be an honorable, a dignified person. How can someone yansa when nipa befa? And the time the president was sitting at the church, yes, we are private gender. Now we MP nipa to abamana kwesa and we trust the confidence by you could see that the whole attempt and they were hoping that Mahama son call high jet. Now you equalize no because that has always been our politics. Oh well, this MPP so yeah. So then we can and we have some of these journalists on TV in as a forum and that emotional conversation as and the minimum patch on the high jet. We don't even know where that is coming from. So I think for me, there is no argument of going to buy jet or not buying jet. It is not on the table. Some people's creation because jet they said the court say report banner say or that will determine the next line of way. President Mahama Nyankan baby also kwakoto jet. So why are people pushing ahead, saying conquer way? All for political equalization. As if I think that we must always look at the greater good. Now you make sure so mine are able to know we have a purpose, we have destiny.
That's it. Where can we be?
Captain, you know the American say send the Iban can time ayi MP no ebeke President Mama ahan jet ede atukwan ko Japan no amanfo bebre chance yese
the breakfast
bebre gidi so MP
MP
and now more say parliament so as a house of records in the same no can be is assumed to be the facts meanwhile na open
na nya no kra open chantro
wahu entino menim de nti a opre no ho eba abonten beka say President Mama ko hanjeta odi aide odi atukwan de oye no na mfaso bia che dani so menim rush na or rush no de na opese wa achieve ahu but see you see say opese u equalize say
Mama alcohol Mahama so
alcohol Mama so alcohol ntino oh say e bia honorable Ablakwa ebe pachel because then time no Ablakwa yo bia na ona na time bia no obeka ne say oh nanado alcohol jet luxurious one say but you see send your Ivan car no then time ye nyina ye ni the economic condition na e wo kurum ha see ahochira na amanfo enamu to the point say we cover yi offense domestic debt exchange e ba ye say emrewafo ne enkokrafo a besika kra eda onuma at least nka be manage be yade kakra no we cover sa haircut no e de ba ye enti say ne wo ne ba ye no eye ade a e say ye gina so e de kan asem de a na e kire o sa ahochire ho sa ahoche ho a we also expect to say wo no so no wo life a be live no ebe sinti ahoche na e wo enti ade nti a so han data ne bo den sa to the point to say ye can justifications na wo ankasa no spokespersons ne ayi on crofo no be de man na in person because ayi obi dia o kai say na ayi say presidential jet no Nana etnasia nkotodwe enko
na nye no na
opon we are
opon we
aha what you say nana me dey crowd no compare Ghana ha president ababa na ono na oye shorter me boa the shortest
I must say
so opon we are shoe crowd
Hey, the panyo. Now upon we are gina hoya. Now kasa oh na nko play mu no na be ko play mu. What people no ni shoe crowd or yi ni shoe and shoe crowd wale channel. Nyansem no.
Wahu NTN no nya be pese I say be de everybody no. It's neither here nor there. And nya ye say ayi Japan ayi President Mama ekọ enu fasode a edebe bre oman no me nka say bia na kontu na woturu na emfa fasode bia ma but say ye nyina ye ho kire na say o ma ye tie ase say ahokire wo hode a na say won so wutimi ye me ebe fata na say ahokire na ewo system no mu no be wo mom woni di mi wie enko han jet ane bo den famfa wiem na me no meto na komode me wa brekwa wa san krampa hit me with offense domestic debt exchange na o expect to say me bominsam e dia ma anase me mama ni ade mani age entiende no ne ye hwe say President Mama eko han jet kra in the absence of a presidential jet na e wo ho no na yenso ye hwe say onko han ne ne bo den a emro so what I say but thank God say ene no ye besusu ye ni nyina no a na be fi se nko no e be kwa kofa bi atena mu no enye sa so ne tie ene ye nyina ya hu no kra na ba be daddy na be na be expect say Ablakwa be ba be pache no ene me nti say ayi asefuo se hwan no wa ba be onso ba be pache o
but we the quick one no the NPP themselves are more consistent hwe o kind thing for job
team for job be can say
why na just be peja o Ghana ha oka ba ku bia enye ntro no kwa kope na chine no onso wakasa bio onso wakasa bio
oye so for
oye den
they are not smart. They are not easy.
What is that ekwasefu asa kasa bio because we raise ba ko enye no kra ye ntro Ghana fo ehu no so you know so people like this when they start talking na say omoka na wantumi akwankwanya hwehwemu a no mo twa ntro no mo de apam no mo de hyew ba onya kwa hwehwemu na wo say ye no kra pe be wo say no wate ada
Now, I'm for discussing for some days.
It doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
and these are individuals I to about more. Ya kwabrania kodi lie so akoto abama no. And akwatara na akwachane outside falsehood na se for bisa wo say Ghana ni no to trust and confidence ben and obenya wo institution na se for no. I think you see people must live up to expectation. We've gotten to a time and the parliament dignity kakra or cry ni hobiem. And Ghana for those in the parliament.
And the oko parliament. Now you minority for si ho no mo. Na ka se bobe nkofo be mienu pa omonimo nyam ewo fere kakra omonimo mo sankanya asasem a unya nkofo mienu.
Na no meti say ayi akwatia aspirant no.
Yes.
Ayi bentu abama no na the opponent no lawyer no enye law sem ne be kwai no parliament won me ka say hey emra she be dwam ho no enye mra sem
You hate me, I hate you.
Well, person ko parliament enti mini so ko dua banchi ho se okoye den o wo parliament won ma wo ko no o person che say enye mra sem ne ye koye no ho no.
It's very surprising, say,
Captain.
The way and man and Kofosi build your country, no. I said the best practices I see you seeing from home, we are not doing the same. Near the end, the politics of equalization now, and then some who NDC bar on some who know person or no, I ain't and home tono, MPP bar, no be this some who know I ain't and home tono. So the ordinary citizen suffers in the long run. Until you're wasting 8 years of another down Kufuor administration. Ghana national fast will be Sa so na we so ba the administration we are Ghana ye nya so fa so bia the ordinary Ghanaian will suffer at the end. There pa na betumi dey accessible. Say Ghana ye wo. Nti we dey ye ni hwe kra no. We dey oba and dey defend ye like other countries have.
Because leadership has always been reactionary. Reactionary. Adeninya see we are no bia tia si me ye bibi. What as a typical example where they see a rich hospital. Rich hospital issue I see.
Now you war and the papa say you can was near the
yes. Because over the years, people have some of these concerns and issues. And Nisa Obiko Masa Nema we could see and sana activity and national discourse to zoom into our hospitals. These are real challenges over the years, and Yakase. We need to improve healthcare, both personal and infrastructure.
Yeah.
These are conversations. So whenever this thing comes up, the whole media be at the camera na interviews way after 1 week then we bury it, then we move to another section. What as all? I think that on minor we need to focus and get our priorities right. Because on minor workers or move grow, on my being will grow by accident. And on my beard when Yankopon free to grow, there be American and as for the dada no, and then Yankopon the better yo. And you nipa the sanina, yeah. At some point in time, a binus of pet union, a binus of pet fidran, ye kubinum, ye waman for second, and my binum adasun your moo, because they wanted to go this way, binus they wanted this way, and as for. But in the long run, output in the Dahai. People are enjoying it. Ghana near Cross same to me corner no okra camera so about heaven and so our man for and the building here our mind that and people sacrifice and what are we doing here? Yeah, then it's about convenience, people cutting corners just to ensure so we are getting the way then as a forum. So for me, I think that nation building is a concerted effort. Obia should be involved. Na yen tanasema bibinsi na yen react to. We must always set the pace and make sure that
the nina depending on us. But you see, Ghana we have entrusted our vote and everything in the hands of the president. And he is the spending officer. He is the policy maker. He is whatever. No person will be or majority of parliament. Nobody can do anything to him. Because we saw another Danko Kufuor at the time when he had the majority in parliament. And then another person also to me. Yes, Ghana forces and pay levy. Chinchine train, papa de Beshe Ghana for Kong. Emanko for honorable members. Every way papers near their boss to near there. Our parliament. We saw that. Just because they had a majority. Ghana for say COVID-19. Nipa no dey yare ne bae kwa kodi krum kra na oni levy e wo ho no. Till now we are still paying COVID-19 levy. It will kofa nyema frama no ne no de ba. Bola gusu kofa de firo na de ba okrum so da be ye wo hu ye a. This also to tua COVID-19 levy ya ready ni ho no mu biem just because omo jisika no edi wo monum echem omo ho ne omo ne omo plan ne omo guess no nti sa ka na de egumeme ne wutri so ye ne ebetua so ye try say beka ye de but do kan we na say politician no no sika ne tumi ne kuta no so onya de na be ye no. The only thing I say, you vote the person, say, my president, be an so be in a free, but in the end, the side effect and the rippling effect is on us. And that is what we are still suffering for. That is why we are still talking about it. Because, and your boys, you go shoot your more bossy. Pity, boys, now you could come more bossy.
Report in a way.
Report here with traffic to some. Dear, no more copy. I will go sika. A piano, almost or money, or more than your mumabiti. In the end, Kwabena time 20 cocoon just because on your money he was protecting the interest of a foreigner. You see, and Sunday marketing kitty winner a good point to be. You see, and I'm a pest Sri Lanka for some no. But so they will be see, they will come after you, so that you will know. Say 2 million the amount. They are 5 months for Baye, who ye and who know a bush and a cake crabby. You share on my own be brave, share Rwanda. Now no say Rwanda DNA a place of war. You better baby and Rwanda, Namibia, and Kenya. Near the more go to Kenya now and see. Go to Rwanda and see. Go to all those places and see for yourself. Say, Diana, I see what no mama see and no country that develop a year that's what my yakasa. Does it mean omo superhuman and I say and I said yet to me kwa akobbo say free Mauritius kra Mauritius baby edu ahwede na dey
amsa me fancy ami ya aduma e be share akwati by election in 2nd September oh
2nd September na akwhwe akwati me check your pictures me the videos be bro just because of elections inti yet abobo yamu any pragia mu ne ye call rounds because e hono mo kwan nye nsu atoma teche wo hono mo na kwabna ne kope vote nti se kwan bia so o packing the car no kwatsa bobo yamu no kɔ hono mo. You see the mindset of the ordinary politician to Ghanaians because one kɔ hono mo a nipa not one be hu say onwen ne ho nti anye o tena bobo yamu ne pragia mu akɔ hono mo wo hu say yes odwen ne ho ampa, and that is the kind of country we are living in. Ye to abani wi am nko yes say akwa no mo aya.
Hey.
Boy.
Just because through this destroyer. Baby, yeah. They will let monk